Alrighty, you guys. So welcome. It's been a minute since I feel like I've been on a Work Wednesday call. But I am glad to be back. So Jesus, what is today? Today is March the 9th. I'm not really gonna go into announcements because I didn't check that. So maybe if any of the other leaders have anything pressing that you think that we should announce, chime in, talk about it in the chat, or just chime in whatever you think we need to talk about as far as announcements goes. But as always, make sure that as a great consultant, you are trying to check your workstation daily, check your news tab, keep track of those things. Remember, we are in an incentive period right now. So definitely, if you don't know what that incentive is, make sure that you go and check your incentive tab on your workstation, so that you can try to earn the summer incentive. So that is that. Okay, so as many of you that are leading above know, Janica said, quick shout out to the Wax Wolf Pack. We hit director again last month after not hitting for 3 months. Way to go, guys. Awesome. That's huge. Huge. So leading above consultants have an opportunity to have or to join our Leaders Live Monday night huddles. They are weekly. They've been a little sporadic lately, but we are back to regularly every Monday at 8:30. So if you're leader above and you're not getting on those, and you have the time, definitely, tap into that. And if you are not a lead yet, make that something that you want to get to so that you can join that Leaders Live chat on Mondays. So we had a very, very good Leaders Live this past Monday. I want to say there was about 8 or 9 people on. And I just kind of did like a round table and I asked, right? Like I asked some pretty deep questions. And for me, because just me personally, I took a little bit of time. I'm not gonna say I took time away from my business, but I was recovering from a major surgery. So I was kind of in chill mode. I still worked my business, obviously, but the great part about creating a strong business is that I had my automation happening, still got sales, still got paid. So all of that helped. But at the time that I was down, I kind, you kind of get out of your groove, right? What you're normally used to. And that was a good out of my groove for about 30 days. So for me, I was asking some questions that kind of had to, everybody had to answer. And it was a pressing question that I wanted to get feedback from. I think sometimes as leaders, you come to a point that a lot of training or things that you try to share sometimes can become repetitive, but you have to understand in this business, there's always new people coming in and going out. So you got to kind of stay repetitive, right? But in the same token, I kind of wanted to know those people, the leaders that were getting on, what were they wanting? Like, what do they want in their business right now? What do they feel like their team lacked? What is something that we as their upline could do to help them? So the biggest feedback that I got, I mean, I won't go over all the questions because there were 6 questions and they were really good questions. I had really thought about these beforehand. And I got a lot of good response for future trainings, for things that a leader may need for themselves and some things that a leader may want for their teams. So we will take that into consideration going forth with, future trainings. But one of the biggest things that rang was, it all came down to systems. It all came down to people kind of feeling like they didn't know the next step. They don't know, or they were getting for them, right? Because they are leaders that have teams. They were for their personal business. It was like, I kind of feel, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do next. When I hear that, I think overwhelm. I think of how I was for many years in my business. I think about kind of flying by the seat of my pants because I did that for many, many years in my business. Um, and then I kept on hearing, like, what do you feel? Because I asked, what do you feel like you need from that your team needs? And they're like, they just don't know. Like, they don't know how to get sales. They don't know how to recruit. They don't know how to story tell. They don't know how often to be doing that. Like, I don't know what to tell them in that realm. Um, and then I was getting a lot of, I feel like I overthink things and then I don't know where to start. And then I kind of just don't do anything, right? So everything that I was hearing just kept on ringing to me that these people are struggling with the how to, the systems, the what do I work on? What's important to me? How do I find that? Right? Because we could talk about it all day and tell you what you should do, but break it down for me a little clearer. Like, what does that look like? How do I approach that? And then I will say that as I was thinking about that, um, a lot of things rang in my mind. So I kind of prepped for today for that reason. So let me just go into all of my notes that I have. So systems, okay. So first thing I want you, and there is 14 people on right now, and I want you to comment in the chat, yes, if anything that I am saying right now, you are feeling currently. If you don't feel that, say no. But if you're feeling those things, I want you to type in yes. So right now, do you feel like you're on a hamster wheel and you feel like you're just going in circles? Like you're just going in circles, right? Like, oh, I feel like I'm doing this over and over and over and over, and I can't get to my end result, right? You don't know where to start. Are you waking up in the morning or whatever time you sit down to work your business, and you're like, where do I start? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, where do I go? Where do I start? Right? Um, uh, do you kind of feel like, oh, I can't remember. Like, I can't remember. I was supposed to contact customer service for someone, but I can't remember if I did. I was supposed to contact that, follow up with that customer on the 18th, but I didn't. I had a sticky note over here because this customer placed this order and I don't remember where I put the sticky note. I'm just kind of all over the place. Um, and you kind of feel overwhelmed. Like you kind of like you want to get in and you want to work, right? You want to get in your space, your office, your chair, your table, whatever it is in your realm, and you want to work, but you're just like, you got so much going on in your head, it's so congested. You sit down and you're just like, where the hell do I go? Where do I start? What do I do? So you feel overwhelmed, and then you sit and you don't do anything. You catch yourself scrolling Instagram, you catch yourself scrolling Facebook, and you literally don't do anything. And then you go back and you sit on the couch, or you go back about your business, and then you kind of don't do anything. If that is kind of if you've currently been experiencing any of those things, I will tell you, I've been there, I've done it many, 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 many years in my business, many years in my business. Okay. It wasn't until about 2 years ago that I really got laser focused and serious with my systems. Okay. Um, so so why systems, right? Like somebody said, like, why? I'm kind of just chilling, flying by the seat of my pants, doing somewhat good. Why systems? Like, why is it important? Why? Productivity is, I would say, the most important variable in your overall performance as a consultant, not just a leader, but as a consultant from day one. Just as in any other business, this is no different than going to your 9 to 5. This is no different than your other side hustle or retail location that you've ever had, or any big box department store, period. just as in any of one of those businesses, you have to have a way to measure things. You have to have a way to analyze things, to give them enough time to analyze them, and for you to improve what isn't working, right? You have to be able to measure those things. And if you can't look back at something and see and say, okay, I tried this for 3 months or for 6 months and it just didn't serve me, it wasn't something that I felt like my ROI, which is your return of investment, was worth it. So then at that point, maybe you tweak it. But if you don't have those systems to track and to analyze that stuff, you're always going to feel like you're in that circle. Always going to feel like that. So I'm going to preface with this. What I want you to understand is that some of the things, there's two people that are on the call today that did their homework from Monday and they sent it to me, and I asked them if they would be willing to share on the call. So I will have them share when we get to the examples at the end. But what I want you to understand is that whatever we share with you, whether it be me, whether it be the other two ladies that are going to share, I want you to understand something. I don't ever want anyone to feel like they have to do exactly what someone else does, right? And your form of your success is going to be determined by you. It's not determined by me. It's not determined by Lucy Systems. It's not determined by any of that. At the end of the day, what I'm going to give you right now is just going to be examples. It's going to be my personal experience and how I work my business, what is important to me. And I'm going to give you some action steps in a little bit when we go to like what you can start doing to leave today to actually put into action, and even start very, very foundational, basic. But don't, first of all, think that you got to do what I do and everything that I do. I run my business a certain way. I structure my business a certain way. And there's certain things that are more important to me in my business that may be less important to someone else in their business. So first and foremost, when you sit down and you really decide that you understand to be successful, that you have to have some type of structure and system, then you have to determine what that looks like. You have to know how much time you're willing to invest in your business every single day. You have to know if you're going to work solely on your personal business, or if you have team members and you're going to work on your team as well. You have to figure out those things. I can't tell you how much time to invest in your business. Only you can tell yourself that. All I'm going to present to you is going to be what I'm willing to put into my business, and how I work my systems. First of all, I want to give you my personal experience over systems. And in April next month will be 11 years that I've been in the business. When I tell you that I did not get serious about systems until probably year 8. I had systems here and there, but I didn't stay laser focused on them. And I didn't try to give them a long enough chance so that I would know if something was working or something wasn't. I kind of just like, oh, they said to do that. Let me go try to do that. Oh, I'd watched this YouTube video. So-and-so said to do that. Let me go try to do that. It was like every new shiny idea or object I ran and I tried to do. I'll be totally honest with you. And I'm a YouTuber. I'm a trainer. I'm a teacher at heart. It's what I love to do. And I do it. But I will tell you that when I became serious about my systems, I understood that I did a lot of overconsumption and underproduction. So what that meant was I was looking at everything. I was scrolling. I was watching every YouTube video. I was like wanting to do all the things. But when it came down to the hour, I underproduced because I was so overwhelmed and so worried about what other people were doing, how they were doing it, if I should do this, if I should do that. What I had to tell myself was, bro, you got to stay in your lane. You got to find out what is important to you currently right now in your personal business. I had to get my personal business together, because for me, I never was a person that hit 2K in a month. It just didn't happen. But when I said to myself, BS, if all these people can do it, why not me? I need to get my personal business booming. So then I can in turn teach my team to do the same, but I have to work my personal business. I have to walk the walk. I can't just talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to understand that I can't ask my team members to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. Um, so I really knew that I had to get my stuff together. Like, if I wanted to be a high performing leader and I wanted to be a high performing consultant, that I had to get it together. Now, that may not be what you want to do. So take that into consideration. Like I said, I never, ever, ever want someone to feel like what I'm telling them is Bible, like they have to go do that. No, you do what you feel is important to your business. But you got to have a plan. You got to have a structure. You got to try to ink it and track it so that you can see if it's working or if it's not working, and you pivot. Okay. So, again, like I said, year 8 was probably one of the years that I really started like, Jessica, you got to get some type of structure together, bro. Like, some type of tracking system. I will tell you, in doing that, I earned annual sales last year for the first ever I was gonna earn. And I told myself that I could, first of all. And I was very laser focused. Am I freezing again? I am. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna yell. I'm like, can y'all turn all the Wi-Fi off? So I had to just get laser focused on what was most important for me. And I knew for me that I had to raise my PRV. I wanted to be hitting $2,000 to $4,000 in PRV a month. That's what I wanted, because I was deciding that I was going to leave my 9 to 5 and I wanted just Scentsy to be my primary income. So I knew that I had to change some things or it wasn't going to work. I will tell you that in doing this and being very focused on my systems, I earned annual sales award for the first time. Like I said, on top of that, I know this is insane because I never thought the day would come that I would say this, is that I did not find myself every single day working so many hours of Scentsy. I do less and I'm more productive. Don't know how it works, but it does. I do less and I'm ultimately, I want more time, right? I want more time and more money, more time and more money. Like, that's what I want. So to be able to say that in the past 2 years, I've been more productive in my business, more successful with less time, is huge. That's a win in itself for me. And whatever you do, when we get into, I'm going to show you my particular things that I use. You got to understand that whatever you do, whatever you choose to do for you, whatever your daily checklist to do checklist looks like, whatever your weekly checklist looks like, whatever your monthly checklist looks like, you got to give it time, guys. If you constantly are this person that is jumping from A to B to C to D to E to F and you feel like nothing is working, it's because you're not giving it enough time. Literally, you're not sitting and seeing what works and trying to see if it's not working and analyze it and then reassess and pivot. If you're not doing that, you know, you're not going to ever feel like you're building the momentum or that you're hitting your goals and that it's actually working, right? So that is my personal experience with systems over the past so many years. So actions to start. These are just 2 things that I'm going to say. First of all, you got to find out how you're going to track it. Are you going to be paper and pen? Are you going to go buy a planner? Are you going to go digital? I'm digital. I do everything on my iPad. I don't have any paper. Are you going to go buy a spiral? It can be that simple. Buy a spiral for a month or use that spiral from the front to the back for anything that you have to keep track of when it comes to Scentsy. You got to understand, number one, how you're going to track it. What is the best system for you? If maybe you're a spreadsheet type of person, I'm not. That stuff gives me a headache. I back away from it. It's just not my love language, so I don't even try to go there. You could use Google Docs. You could use Google Sheets. You could use Google Drive. for tracking all of your stuff. You could do that way. You could do digital. If you have a tablet and a pen, or you could just go a planner. You can buy Scentsy's planner. You can go get a planner from any store, or you can just use a spiral and track the things that are important to you. So, the next thing that I did, I knew, so one was I had to figure out what way I was going to do. Digital has ultimately, I've tried many ways, has been my best friend. Two, I feel like you have to give it a little bit of time to sit down and brainstorm. Like, what's important to you right now? I'll tell you what I did. I went and researched a lot of YouTube people, right, that had documents that they shared. So I looked at some things that they were using to track things. I looked at some of their weekly checklists. I looked at some of their monthly checklists, other leaders. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. And I wrote down like everything. I just literally brainstormed on a piece of paper, everything. It was paper at that time. Everything that I did for my business, everything, whether it worked or didn't, anything I could think off the top of my head, I wrote it down. As a matter of fact, I don't know if she's on, I saw her log on. Myself and Carrie B did this. I remember one day we literally were on the phone and I was like, okay, let's just spew out everything that we do for our business, like everything from A to Z, everything, for our personal business, for our team. And we literally wrote it down. I think we probably had like 4 sheets written down. Insane. We can't do all that, but little by little, we X'd off what we were not willing to do. And then we checked what we were willing to do. And that's how initially systems came into place for me. Over time, I've learned that less is more for me. If I try to do all the things, I do no things, and it just doesn't work. So number one, find out how you're going to track it. 2, take a little bit of time to write down the things that you currently do for your business, things that you want to do for your business, and then literally start Xing off what you're not willing to do and find out all the things that you are willing to do. Okay. Next is number 3, you got to decide how much you're willing to work your business. What does that look like? Does it look like 2 hours a day? Does it look like 4 hours for the week? Does it look like 10 hours for the week? What does that look like? Right? How many hours are you literally willing to commit to work your business? I honestly feel like you got to know that. You have to get laser focused on what you're willing to do. Now, will it always happen like that? Will it always work out like that? No, it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to work out like that. But if you know more or less and you can plan things, you're going to be 100% more successful than if you didn't. Okay. So number 3, you got to find out how much you're willing to work. Okay. And then number 4, you just start placing the things. Whether you're a checklist person, I'm a checklist person. Like my schedule doesn't work well with block scheduling. What that means is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Maybe you block out the times that you're going to do certain things. That is one way. And if your mind and your brain and your schedule works like that, you can do block scheduling where maybe you start at 8, your day ends at 9. You block in your time you're going to be at work, and you block in the time that you can work and what is most important that you need to tackle first. And then you start putting those into your blocks of time. That is block scheduling. My schedule is not set up like that, nor my time, my frame of mind doesn't work like that. For me, I'm a checklist person. I have to have a list. And I got to know, okay, this is what's most important today. I need to start checking these things off the list. And that is what I do. That is how I created my systems. That is, these systems that I'm going to show you guys, they're probably been the most productive than any other system I've ever had. And let me tell you, a system is not a system for you unless you're doing the work. Okay. I don't care how cute and bright and shiny Jessica's system may be. If it's not working for you, it is not a good system. Okay. So that is why I tell you, you've got to do a little bit of work for even the bare minimum. to try to think what's important for you. What is important for your bottom dollar in your business today? And those are the systems that you try to work on. Not what's important for me, not what you see me do. I'm just going to give you an example. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out how and what type of way works best for you. So I'm going to show you my daily. I kind of even didn't want to show you my weekly and my monthly, but I do believe that there's a lot of leaders on the call. There's a lot of people that have teams. So I'm going to briefly give you those. What I will tell you that at the end of the call, I will post my Canva templates to these documents. So the cool thing about that is if you do want to use them and you're a checklist person like me, you can open it up and you can take my to-dos out, you can add your to-dos and you can print it out, you can take a snapshot of it, you can put it in your digital planner, whatever you want, however you want to do that. If you want to, hello? Somebody say something? Oh, I think somebody's not muted. Let me see. Let me mute everybody. Okay, maybe that did. Okay. So I will give you the Canva templates if you want to use them. And I know Elba, she's going to show her examples here in a minute also. If she has it and she can share it with us, if you see hers, I'll definitely share. I'll see if she can share that with you guys. And then if Lupe has anything, then we'll see if she can share it. But if hers is just, I don't know what hers is, if it's just pen and paper, but we'll get there. But what I want you to understand is those are my best advice on starting. Don't just come and listen and say, yay, everything's fine and dandy, and you're the perfect student, but you don't go out and implement it, right? So start somewhere. Whatever it is, start somewhere. So I'm going to screen share. Tell me if you can see my screen. And what I did is I basically took pictures of my iPad. So I'm going to show you, and this is literally, I use this every week. This is my daily checklist, and this is for this week, and it is literally filled out. I filled it out. So this is what is most important to me right now in my business. These are the things that are most important to me. Every single day, I have to work my business. If I don't create customer connection conversations, I'm not going to get PRV. It just is what it is. If I don't have host and join conversations or put 30 minutes aside for that, I'm just not going to have any parties and I'm not going to have anybody join my team. It is what it is. One of the biggest things on Monday night's call was that people were giving feedback about was that themselves and their teams don't seem to recruit, or they can't recruit. My first question to 5 of them was, do you have a recruiting list, a sponsoring list? Are you keeping track of it? 4 of them said no. That right there is a big obstacle, because if you're not keeping track of it, how do you know? How do you know what you're doing? For me, the biggest area of my PRV comes from Instagram. So I have to post on IG daily. Do I always do 7 days? Nope, but I try to. For me, reels are huge. It's a way that I expand to people that I do not know. So for me, I try to at least do 3 reels a week. Do I do more sometimes? Yeah, when I'm on my game and I track it. But right now it's Wednesday and I've already done 2 this week. My goal is to always stay in my followers' forefront. So I'm going to post 10 to 12 stories a day. Now, my stories from Instagram go over to Facebook. Facebook stories is another one of my huge PRV places. So whatever I post on IG stories transfers over to my Facebook stories. So I have to be posting 10 to 12 stories a day. Does that mean it's all Scentsy? No. It means it's me, my life. It's what I'm eating. It's my plastic surgery journey right now. It is my trying on something new that I bought. Whatever the case may be, it's my behind the scenes. It's 10 to 12 stories that I try to post so people can connect with me, not just on Scentsy, but I sprinkle Scentsy in there. Okay. I did away with my VIP group, so I X'd that out. I haven't gone into the template and deleted it, but that's why there's a line through there. I went live on my team page on Monday, so I marked that out. I connected with 2 of my frontline on Monday. I didn't do that yesterday or today, and I marked that out. And I updated my daily numbers on Monday, and I have not done that yesterday or today. But this just shows you that when I'm doing these things, my business works like clockwork. But the minute I don't do these things, it starts slipping. And let me tell you, it's midweek, it's Wednesday. And if I don't see blocks colored in, it is a mental note for me to say, nah, girl, you tripping. You ain't working your business. You better get on your game. Like literally. And 2 of the main things that a lot of people tell me when they see this, because I've done trainings for a couple other groups, is what does 30 minutes of customer connection look like? What does 30 minutes of host conversations look like? Okay, so I just want to tap into that. So what 30 minutes of customer connections and 30 minutes of host conversations look like? What I allot to do in those 30 minutes every single day. 30 minutes of customer connection. It may be that I go and I post a deal or one of the corporate specials or a picture or any warmer or anything on Instagram. And the people that start liking and commenting or they respond back to it, I start having conversations with them. That is a customer connection to me because I'm talking to them about a specific product. That could be me sending a project broadcast, which is a text message in mass that I use every single week in my business. Maybe it's sending out a project broadcast because that is a personal connection with my current customers that they're going to respond back to me, right? And maybe I'm giving them the deal of the week that I like to send on Fridays, and I'm asking them if they want to take it. That is my 30 minutes of customer connection because I am strictly focused on PRV. Maybe it's the new Disney warmer that just launched, the Castle, and maybe I'm telling them about it. That goes into my 30 minutes of customer connection because it is individualized. It is not a post that I'm making and I'm just hoping and praying that they're going to come back and talk to me. No, it is something that I'm intentionally doing to generate PRV. Maybe it's me posting, maybe it's me emailing because I use the workstation to email all of my customers when there's specials, if I'm sending out a personal special, if there's a new launch, I do that. That goes into my customer connection because it's going to anything that will generate PRV for me. That is what is in that block of time. 30 minutes of host and join conversations. I have a list that I use that literally is a running list. It's a piece of spiral digital paper that I write down people that have ever said anything about the join opportunity. Okay. I'm going to convert over. We did a level up and I will share that with you guys as well. We created in our level up group with 2 other superstar directors and myself, we created a warm market connections list. And literally that is what I'm going to convert over to do for all of my customer connections because it's literally how to track. I created the document and it's the name, when you talk to them, what you talk to them about, and a note section. Literally super simple, but that is how I'm going to start keeping one simple thing because to me, creating simplistic things is what I will do. If it's too much and it's too overwhelming, I just won't do it. I will share that with you guys as well. But hosting and join conversations. So that is anybody that I look back and I see has been buying from me once a month the last 3 months. I need to be telling them about having their own account. So that is a conversation that is allotted for that time. Maybe I have a customer that put in $100 order. I did 2 of these last week. It was the Harry Potter. They were closing out their Harry Potter bundles. But they gave me their order. Sent me their money through Zelle. I could have just easily went on and ordered it, right? So what I told them was, I didn't even give them an option. I said, hey girl, I created you a link. Here's your link. I'm ordering, because they paid shipping. I'm ordering your bundle through this link. So you're already at $100 in PRV. So you can go and share this link with your family, your friends through the end of the month and try to get some rewards. At $200 plus, you get rewards. So let me know if you have any questions. I didn't give them an option. I just sent them the link and I ordered it through their link. If they don't do anything with that party, guess what? I don't care. I'm just going to add more orders to it and close the party out when I get to $500. But what if they do? What if they send it out to 5 people? That then becomes a party. So that is allotted for my host conversations. Maybe I want to send out a project broadcast right now, right? It's $25 to join. And that is a text message. That is allotted in that time because I could send the kit that's $25 to 550 people I have in my customer database on my project broadcast. And maybe I might get some hits from it. But that is time that I'm allotting to join conversations. But I'm keeping track of it. If I don't keep track of it, guess what happens? It goes to the back of your head. Life happens. Mom takes over. Wife takes over. Caretaker takes over. And you do nothing. And you're wondering why your PRV is not at $200. You're wondering why you haven't recruited anybody all year. And then your business isn't moving. So that is sometimes a lot of people ask me, like, they don't understand what those 30 minutes of those 2 connections are. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So does anybody have any questions before I go further on this? And like I said, I have this in a template on Canva and I'll share it to the pages after. So you could just open it and you can like take out whatever you don't want and you can change it up. Super simple, super easy if you want to use it. If you don't, totally fine. I just want to give you an idea of what I do or what's most important for me in my business daily. Anybody have any questions, comments? Okay. So next, now I'm gonna tell you this. This is as basic as you can get, right? I don't want to show you the next 2 slides and I don't want you to get overwhelmed because this is what I do for my business. I want you guys to understand that. I am a leader with close to 400 people in my team. So yes, I do have to work my business differently because I want to create more leaders. There's a lot more things that I have to do in my business than someone that does not have a team, okay? Or someone that is not wanting the end goal of what I want for my business. And that's okay. But understand that I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to think, oh my God, she does too much. I can't do what she does. You ain't supposed to do what I'm doing. You're supposed to do what you need to do. So just don't get overwhelmed. I just want to show you for those that are leaders that maybe you struggle on the team part or the team aspect of it, or just the day-to-day things that go a little deeper than this. Okay. So this is my daily checklist on, if I know that I do majority of these things, my business is going to get to what I want it to be every month. That is 2K in sales and try to recruit 1 to 2 people a month. I know that. It's proven to be true. Okay. Now this just works for me because I do things weekly in my business and I do things monthly in my business. So this is my monthly checklist. Okay. This is besides what I do daily. Once I do my daily checklist, right? And I'm working on that throughout the day. And maybe I don't fill it out early in the morning. I do it maybe at night, or maybe I'll skip a day and then I'll go back. Like, okay, let me go see. Did I post on IG? Did I do a reel? And I go and I fill it in. So I try to do my best to keep track. It's not always going to work. You're not going to do it at the same time every single day. But if you try to understand that this is your go-to daily, when you get up, you shouldn't feel overwhelmed or like you don't know which way to go. When you have a list, Start at the top of your list and work your way down, period. End of story. Like it's that simple. So that is my mindset. When I get up, this is what I initially have to work on to move the needle in my business. Second, okay, I've done a few of those things. Let me start marking off what is important for me monthly. So these are some important things for me on the first of the month. From the 1st through the 4th of the month, I try to update my team cover in my group. I go and I look and I update my annual trackers, because for me, I focus on earning annual sales and annual mentor. So I keep track of that every single month. I go and I update my trackers. I do Facebook recognition for my team for the prior months. I email prior month recognition through my workstation. If anybody promotes to start, I will invite them to our Marco Polo chat. I send out birthday emails and I send out anniversary emails. I try to do those within the first days of the month. Okay. By the fifth of the month, I try to email all the will cancel consultants. I run reports and I try to email all of the people that earn some level of shooting star and sensational start. And I check my monthly business subscriptions. I do this every single month. And I'm like, okay, did I utilize that last month? Because I got to keep my budget intact. Did I use it? Did I not? Have I used it the past 2 months? Should I cancel it this month? Is it worth it? So I assess those things. By the 10th of the month, I try to mail team promotions if I had any. I try to mail team challenges or gifts if I gave any out. I post a warmer of the month reminder, because warmer of the month runs on the 15th. I make sure that I try to post that so people know if they're new, if they're not, warmer of the month is coming around. I email team promotions, right? Because the 10th is when we get paid. That's when the system updates. So I email team promotions if there was any. And the list just goes on and on. There's things that I try to do by the 15th. There's things that I try to do by the 20th. There's things that I try to do. EOM is end of the month. So this is the way I keep my business working like a well-oiled machine. Now, do I change things out? Do I take them out and take stuff out because I feel over the months it's not working? It's just really not serving my business? Yeah, I do. But I at least give it 3 months to see if it's working and if it's worth it. Okay. So this is my monthly checklist. And like I said, I reassess it every quarter. Every 3 months, I try to reassess and see what worked, what didn't, what I can take off and do less of. Because like I said, for me, less is more. So that is my monthly checklist. And then this one can get a little overwhelming, but I'm telling y'all, like I am very, how do I say it? I'm very like structured. I'm a planner at heart. I got to see it and I got to have a checklist and I got to literally like, I got to get up and be like, okay, this is week 1. I got to get through this checklist. Right. And this is all the things that I know I need to do in my business. And I check them off. Some of the weeks look very similar, but then there's some weeks that I don't do one thing that I may only do once a month. And then there's some things that I may do every single week. So you see them in every week. And there's some things that I may only do 2 times a month and you only see them in 2 weeks. So these are my 3 trackers that I try to get as close to winning every single month. Okay, so again, don't get overwhelmed. This is week 1. It's day 1 through 7. Week 2, day 8 through 14. Week 3, day 15 through 21. And then week 4, day 22 through 31. And again, these are things that I do in my day-to-day business. I try to follow up on my follow-up log with my customers. So I know who I talked to, who said they wanted to order on the 18th or the 20th. I write it down. New consultant checklist. If I have new consultants, am I sitting down and am I training those people? New team checklist. Am I sending out an email to those new team members that I didn't bring into the company, right? Somebody else did. Am I doing that? My inactive and reinstatement log. I have a log for that. Am I uploading the Work It Wednesday to YouTube? Because I haven't been doing that lately. And that is on my weekly list because that is an area of training I can provide. Am I sending the welcome team email? I send a welcome team email. I try to do it weekly. If I don't have anybody new that joins the team, I just go to the next week. But I like to stay connected to every single person that joins my group, whether I brought them in or I didn't, because in all honesty, there's not many times you're going to hear me say that I think a good leader should, but this is one of them. A good leader is going to understand that not every single person on their team is going to be a Scentsy lifer. There's going to be people that just want to do this for a hobby. There's going to be people throughout your branches that maybe they don't get it, they don't want it, but that second or third person that joined is a damn rock star. And guess what? I'm gonna pull her up if the other person can't. But if I don't connect with my group like that, I'm not gonna find those people. I mail customer thank yous every single week. I do email recognition every single week for my team. So all of these things are things that I do. Like I said, a lot of the things you see are repetitive every single week, but then there's some that I only do once or twice a month, and that's why some are longer than the others. So that is, and this one can kind of get overwhelming. If you look at it, you're like, damn, you do a lot. But I run a thriving business, so I have to, because that is what I want. And the minute I drop the ball, my business suffers. And I'm a checklist person. Like, you see that week, like it's stressing me out because I feel like I didn't do everything in week one, because I only see not even half of my things checked. But that is a mental note for me. That's the way my mind works. Like, I look at that and I'm like, hell no, week two, you better kill it because you tripping on week one. Like, that's my mindset. And that is what drives me to work my business. Ain't nobody else gonna come and tap me on the back and be like, say, boo, you tripping, you ain't working, you need to come on and step it up a little bit. I gotta find the ways that are gonna work for me to make me excited about my business, because nobody's gonna come and fill my bucket, right? Ain't nobody gonna come and lift me up and tell me, all right, you gotta do this, you're not checking these things off. So I have to find a way to make that work. And this, it works for me. So that is my to-do list. You can start very, very, foundational, like starting with your daily to-do list. And then as your business progresses, you can move on. And then, decide what's important to you, what you feel like you need to focus on in your current business. Does anybody, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I talked about before we go and let someone else share? Anybody? Okay, y'all quiet. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Elba did her homework and I love her sheet. So I'm going to let her do her thing. I don't know, Elba, if you want, and I don't know if you have it on your computer. If you don't, totally cool. Don't worry about it. Maybe you can just kind of hold it up and explain to people what you did, what your thought process was behind it. And then, yeah, let us see.
I'll do that. Well, girl, you do work your business. I'm telling you. Okay, guys, this is what I do. Can y'all see that? No, you're not gonna be able to see it, Jessica.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Do you have the blur thing on your?
Yeah, I think you do.
Oh, yeah, get it off. I'm sorry. I was gonna say no.
Yeah, go to.
Oh shoot, I don't even know where I'm at.
Go to stop video. And then choose virtual background probably. And then do none.
No, that's not letting me do that.
Got it.
Hold on. Oh, can y'all see it? No, I expanded myself. I'm sorry. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, maybe I don't want to do this.
Go to the start video. You see the little arrow that's pointing up on your start video at the bottom where there's the mute button and the start video button.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
A little
Okay,
arrow
gotcha.
pointing up, click on that,
And then
and then go to choose virtual
video
background.
setting.
Well,
No, the
mine
background.
says
I got it.
choose virtual
I got it.
background. Yeah, and then none.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so can you, oh yeah, you can see this now. So this is my 3 things that I do. Well, let me get this one. You see it?
Yeah,
No.
we can see it a
Okay.
little better.
Right there. Okay, so I start off with my current customers. Oh, sorry. Current customers, my future customers, and my future teamwork. The ones I'm gonna go and try to get them into either buying or I'm gonna get them on my team. But the way I do it, I build a connection with them first. I don't attack them with my sale right away. I just start gradually talking to them and asking them questions. Hey, how are you doing? Da da da. Not every day, but every other day I'll reach out to them or they'll reach out to me. And then when you gradually know exactly who these people are, because some of these I don't even know. I don't even know half of these, but I'll try to start a conversation with them to connect with them and build a relationship with them. And slowly they'll start asking me, what do you do? And then I'll let them know, and then I'll hand out my information on how they can go about. And trust me, this has really helped for me a lot. I'll go and do my first 3 a week. And I mean, trust me, it takes maybe 15 minutes, if that. I mean, it depends on how much you're going to talk to every one of them. But sometimes it's like, hey, girl, I saw you on the internet, you know, what were you doing? What's going on? And, or can I help you with something? You know, just try to build a relationship with these people. And I guarantee you, your sales, your team will grow. I promise you. So I'm
Love
not
that.
Jessica that has a whole lot, but this really has helped. If you guys want a copy of this, or if you know exactly what and how I went about, and I do a whole week. I do Monday, I set it up so I'll know who I'm gonna go for the next day, you know? And it works. It has worked for me.
I love that. And that is why I wanted you to share, because I feel like people should get different, a different idea on what can work, and a different perspective. Because like I said, at the end of the day, a system is a system that works for you, right? Because if you're using it, I mean, look at all those connections in a week, you know what I mean? And it was working. Like, she's talking to those people, she's having a conversation with them. It's connections. It is literally connections, because the minute you stop connecting, your business stops. So good job on doing your homework and sharing that with us. I love it. Does anybody have any questions for Elba?
I just wanted to say that I love that too. I am also a connections recruiter, like hardcore all the way. Like, I do not cold message people or any of that kind of stuff. I let them ask me, but I start friendships or whatever you want to call it with people as well. Usually starts as a Facebook comment or something. Oh my God, you look so pretty. And then just like lead into that. So I love that. And I would love that piece of paper so I can actually like see what I'm doing. So
Thank you.
that's awesome. Love it.
Thanks.
Okay, Lupe, are you on? You ready?
Hi. I really am not looking at you guys and doing that. I'm just like, I'm not sure if I'm ready. Okay, so I'm really super basic. I am in the process of, I've been with Scentsy for 3 years, but really didn't get serious about my business till 2020. So I want to say maybe a couple of months, maybe within the last year, I would say I hit 2K a couple of times. And I wasn't consistent to where I didn't hit it again. You know what I mean? So whatever you do and whatever system works for you, you got to be consistent. So I am in the process of trying to find a system that works for me. I do like writing stuff down. I do write stuff down, and I do have like a dream team list and all of those things. It's more of the other stuff that you did, like the team stuff, the checking in with them once a month, or when they're out. I'll do that for like 3 months, and then I forget to follow up with them later. So I have no tracking system to that. And that's what I'm working on. But I do have a to-do list. And my goal again this month is to hit 2K. And in order to do that, I have to have some type of something, right? So my big focus this month is one, of course, hitting 2K, 2 recruits this month, and Scentsy Club, sorry, and Scentsy Club. So I want to get some customers for that. So that's really what I'm focusing on: Scentsy Club, recruits, and then my 2K. I have all of that written down, but I just don't really have anything yet, because I start looking at yours, Jessica. See, I'm the same way that Jessica was, where she's like, oh, that looks good, that looks good. And so I thought I wanted the binder system, and then I saw you, and then you said you were going to upload those on Canva, and I'm like, oh man, that sounds good too. So I'm a little all over the place, only because I really don't think I'm all confused again.
And let me say this in that aspect: when you're trying to figure out what works, don't feel like you're all over the place, because you got to start somewhere, right? Start something, whatever you choose to start. And then, like I said, if it does not work, do you know how many things I've tried? Like, bro, I couldn't even tell y'all. Like, I don't even know if Erin is still on here. But there was a point where my life was one way. I was working. I couldn't pull out my iPad, so I couldn't use my iPad at work, and it just didn't work at that time. So I asked Erin to create every tracking sheet that I had in Google Sheets, in Google Docs, because I suck at that. But I was like, I could open my Google Drive at work. I was like, so this might work. Well, it worked for the time that I was there, but then I left and I wouldn't pull it up on my phone. I wouldn't pull it up at home. So it just was a broken system because I wasn't consistently doing it. So then when I went, and paper was the way I did initially in the very beginning, period. Like, that is what I started with. But then I found that I would be somewhere, I wouldn't take my binder, I wouldn't take this. And then I had like 5 binders. And then I was like, I can't take off 5 binders when I go somewhere. And then I'm like, I'll leave them on my desk. But when I came into my desk, I didn't pull out the binders. I did other stuff. And I was like, this isn't working. So I had to switch it up. Finally, what has been the most consistent for me has been just carrying my iPad everywhere. Like, that is what has been the most consistent for me. Like, literally, that's just, it's become my favorite way. So I kind of just stayed like that. So don't feel like you're everywhere. Just understand that it's already overwhelming to start systems, to truly like take the time to sit down and take a little bit of time to craft out what's most important to you, to see how that's going to look, to find out what way you're going to start to try to implement it. And it's not a fail or a loss if something doesn't work. You just try to find a better way. And that's what every business, that's what every entrepreneur, that's what every leader is always constantly working to do. So don't feel like you're everywhere. Just start somewhere. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody? who has any type of system that they use now? Does anybody have any type of system that they currently use now?
I do.
Like, do you have a to-do list? Like, do you go off of something, whether it works or not? Like, what is it that you do?
I do. I told y'all on Monday that I use that planner that Scentsy has. And I can share it if you want me to.
I forgot you said that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I can eat. But I remember you said that you were using the Scentsy planner and it worked for you.
Yeah, it's just helping me keep like organized and like just like on Mondays if I have to make samples or something, or on Tuesdays, or I have a party coming up tomorrow actually. So I'm gonna start. I should have started like 2 days ago, which I'll probably change that in the future, but to start all of her party stuff tonight. I've just been so busy today, but this is what it looks like. I don't know. Oh, I have that blur on. Hold on. And sorry, y'all, I am sick or allergies. I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay. So this is like the month. This is for April, but I'm showing y'all what it looks like clear. So they highlight like a whole bunch of stuff in here, which I think is really cool. And then like the next page would be, this is like your goals. So this side, okay, hold on. This side is like what you want to hit. And then this side is actually like how much you did hit of that. And then following up, I don't really know what this one is. If someone could help me with that, the network, I don't really know what that means. But then check in, share the opportunity, and then orders to enter, training, other fun ideas. And then there's like a whole bunch of stuff in the back too, along with notes. You can make a note page. So that's what I'm doing to keep everything all in one. But yeah, this has helped me personally. And then I do have like the ones from your team drive. Like I actually literally just printed it off, but the business expense tracker, because I do need to keep up with that. I'm terrible at that. And yeah. Oh, and Scentsy Club as well, because I do have people subscribe to Scentsy Club. And I think that's it for now.
Awesome. And you said that one said networking.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say networking to me, I would just say it would be like talking to, whether it be, a new person, a person that I wouldn't consider it like a current customer. I would just consider it as somebody new, that you're just having a conversation or trying to build a relationship with. But yeah, that's what I mean, what comes to mind when I think of that. I was going to show you guys one more thing really quick. The sheet that, let me screen share real quick, and I can share this. I think I have it in my Google Drive, or I can share it as a document. But so in our last level up, one of the biggest things that we continuously hear is people say that they don't know how to connect, right? Like, I don't know how to talk to people about my business. I don't know what I should be talking to them. I don't know what I should do. So we created this. It's just literally, I have it screenshotted and I have it in my planner, in my digital planner. And it's just, so what we named it was Daily Connections Warm Market, because we never want to teach or train or tell you to go cold call somebody, to message somebody that you don't know, that you've never built a relationship with, that you've never had a conversation with. Like, that ain't how we roll. We don't want you to do that. What we want you to do is build relationships, and we want you to keep track of it, right? Like, build relationships with those people and keep track of it. So we use this as a tool for our level up participants, and literally it's super simple, like easy to keep track. So the name, the date of the time that you talked to them or made the contact, wherever it may be, the connection type, like are they a new prospect, are they a customer, are they a host, what communication method, how did you contact them, right? Was it by text, did you call them, was it on Instagram, was it on Facebook, did you email them, or any other? This is a huge tracker for me because I am everywhere, and sometimes I forget, like, damn, where did that person send me an order? Was it on Instagram or was it on Facebook? If it was someone that responded to me from a story, because if I'm connecting with my people through email and text message, well, obviously it would be there, right? So I just felt like that was a good thing to note because I struggle with that. Where the heck was I talking to them at? And then what did you connect about, right? It's not always going to be Scentsy in that box. What did you talk about? Were you in a cat group? Were you in a dog group? Like, where was it that you connected? What did you connect about? Did you connect about your trip? Did you connect about plastic surgery that they've had? In my case, like, did you connect with a fitness group? Did you connect on whatever level it was? What did you connect about? Next one was anything offered? Like, and there may be a no there, right? Because every connection should not every connection should result in an offer. But in that particular connection, did you talk about anything? Did you try to offer them anything to buy? Did you offer them a party link? Did you talk about the opportunity? But you could write that down, right? And what were your notes? Like, what was the outcome if any of that took place? And then when do you plan to follow back up with them? Because I think that is the 90% of the problem. Like, we have all these connections, we talk to all these people, and then we kind of just leave them hanging, like the cliffhanger. What do we do? How do we connect back? Like, you have to have a point to try to reconnect with that person, whether it's on a personal level, whether it's on a level of anything, any other type of activity or hobby that you connected with them on. And when do you plan to do that? So this worked really well with our level up participants when they had to go out and fill this out in its entirety for that week. So I will also post this on the group pages. So if you want to utilize it, you can. So that is all I got. Does anybody have anything? I mean, any questions, concerns, whether it's about what we talked about today or not? Feel free.
I just wanted to say something kind of piggybacking off of that tracker that you just showed and kind of, what we've been discussing this whole time. So I often get people on my team tell me that they don't know how to connect either. They don't know how to talk about recruiting or trying to get new sales or anything like that. So I want to give a suggestion. One of the main ways that I connect with people, I post a lot of stories. Jessica said she tries to post 10 a day. Same for me, sometimes more, sometimes I really overdo it, but whatever. And I watch other people's stories. For whatever reason, I feel like if I watch their stories and comment or like their stories, that they'll watch mine too. So oftentimes I will either like their story or like make a comment to them about their story, like send them a message like, oh my God, those are so cute, or where did you get that? Or just whatever, and start a connection that way. After the story, then I will try to comment on their stuff, not every day, not creeper style, not like I'm, trying to be your friend out of nowhere or whatever, because you don't want to come off that way, obviously. But I try to connect the first initial time through watching their stories, or like I said, commenting on their Facebooks. So if you, or Instagram. So if you're one of those people who are kind of shy and don't really like know where to go or how to make a connection, I suggest that. Like if you're watching a story and say they just got some new shoes or they're eating somewhere and their food looks good, comment to them and be like, oh, that looks so good. Where'd you get that? Or, oh, those shoes are so cute. Where did you get those? Simple things like that can make a first time connection. So that was all.
I love that you said that. And that just reminded me of, and then again, that's going into Instagram, right? But what I want to say on that, just to also piggyback off of what Janica said, and it's true, because I think it was Gary Vee that said, and he is like the marketing guru, that and I do this a lot, and it's really grown my reach, and it's grown a lot of people that have influence, right? That have huge followers, but they're very genuine, and they're real, and they connect with their people. So Gary Vee said, because again, posting and ghosting is not the way to go, right? Like Janica said, we go in our stories a lot, and me, some days I have those days when Jessica's on 100, and it's da 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 da. People probably want to stop. They want to probably block me at that point, but I don't care, because that's how I roll. If you don't like it, you can unblock. You can it's easy. But Gary Vee says that you cannot just post and post and post and think that things are going to happen. Again, it's just like it's hard. Let's just say you go to a vendor event, right? And you post up, right? And you have your vendor booth. I always teach my team this: what you do in real life, in a face-to-face interaction, is the same way you should treat online, right? If I go and I have a vendor booth and I have everything set up, people come to my booth, but I'm like this with my hands like this, and I never say a word, right? That's just like if I was posting on Instagram, right? I'm posting, whether it's about me, it's about my product, but I ain't talking back, I'm not saying anything. How much do you think my sales are going to be at that event if I don't interact and connect with the person that's coming up, right, to my booth, like saying, hey, oh my God, like, I love that necklace you have, or OMG, like, have you ever tried Scentsy before? Like, what is your favorite scent, right? You just start making a genuine conversation or connection with them, right? If you don't say anything and you don't connect, you got to understand that it's the same way as if you were online. So Gary Vee says that you should genuinely go, if you want to grow your reach and you want to really connect with people on an online platform. Well, he uses Instagram a lot, but he says, and I do this as often as I can. Go on Instagram or your choice, right? For me, it's Instagram. And he says, go find people that you genuinely like. Like, what is some person's like, just their feed grabs you, like, dang, this chick is bomb, like, I want to be her friend. Like, you like her, what she's putting out, right? Go follow her, but not only follow her, shoot her a quick DM, like, bro, I love you, I'm vibing with you, like, I just love your energy, and I'm glad I found you. That simple, right? Because you connect with those people. When you have a connection with those people, what you're going to find out, exactly what Janica said, you're watching their stories, and guess what? Those people are like, oh, damn, let me go watch her stories. Like, what is she doing, right? Because you made a connection with them. But if you just go follow somebody and you don't have a conversation, just as if your mouth was shut at that vendor booth, you're not going to genuinely connect on social. It's not going to happen. So I try to do that every single day. I try to go find people that I'm attracted to, and I follow them, but I will reply to their stories. Something that just, stands out at me, I will respond. I will give them a comment. I will, or high five, like, damn, I like that. That was cool. Because that's when people genuinely start talking to you, and they're going to start following you and seeing what you're doing. And then when they see something you like, guess what they're going to do? They're going to share it. So just keep that in mind, because that is such a great point, and it's so damn true. Like, what you do in face-to-face, you should take online as well. Alrighty, guys. Anything else before we go? I didn't give any announcements because I didn't even go have time to check, but yeah, that's that. All righty. So my call to action to y'all, like I gave the leaders on Monday, is to bare minimal, go start you a daily to-do list. What does that look like for you? 1 to 2 things, 5 things, 10 things. What does that look like for you? You want to be fancy and you want to create a Canva. If you don't, you want to use one of mine. Use one of mine. You want to use one of Elba's. I said Alba, talking about my sister-in-law. If you want to use one of Elba's, we will try to get you those documents. I will share some of the documents that I posted here. But at bare minimal, guys, you gotta start having some type of structure, some type of to-do list. So I hope that that this helped. I hope that if you have any questions, reach out to your sponsor, to your director. If you guys have any questions, I am not on Facebook as Jessica Villareal anymore. Just saying. So if you're trying to find me, it's Jess, JESSBVEE. Don't even ask. Long story. But yeah. So I hope I have one more thing to say, if that's okay. Yes, Kaylee, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, go over there. Sorry. I was just gonna say, me and Patty are going to do some work after this call on a Zoom. So if any of y'all want to join on there as well, y'all are more than welcome.
Nice. Maybe Patty or one of y'all post the Zoom in the groups, maybe, if somebody wants to.
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool. But yeah, I hope that this helps, and I will try my best to upload everything that I had here in a bit. And until next Monday for the leaders and next Wednesday for everybody else, I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.